All right, hello. So this is one of my very first videos that I will be making, and I wanted to take some time to kind of go over the idea of remarketing and getting in front of users who have already visited your site, interacted with your information, and basically cross-platform advertising. It really increases the rate of returning purchases or getting people who might not have made a decision. And the idea of it is basically nurturing leads to be more familiarized with your brand and get in front of your Facebook page or re-engage with your website or slowly work to become a conversion. And in this quick tutorial, I'll kind of go over how to measure conversions and really set up a methodical process to utilize, like I said, the tools that Google and Facebook kind of provide to basically create a really standard level remarketing campaign and to kind of get all the information you need to kind of collect, that what users are doing on your site, how they're engaging, what's working, what isn't. So I'm going over this on a very baseline level. I don't want to get into too much data or information because that might be a little overwhelming. So this should not take too long, but I want to make sure you guys at least have a better understanding kind of what we're working on. What's trying to be accomplished. So let's start to take a look here at the site. All right, hello. So this is one of my very first videos that I will be making, and I wanted to take some time to kind of go over the idea of remarketing and getting in front of users who have already visited your site, interacted with your information, and basically cross-platform advertising. It really increases the rate of returning purchases or getting people who might not have made a decision. And the idea of it is basically nurturing leads to be more familiarized with your brand and get in front of your Facebook page or re-engage with your website or slowly work to become a conversion. And in this quick tutorial, I'll kind of go over how to measure conversions and really set up a methodical process to utilize, like I said, the tools that Google and Facebook kind of provide to basically create a really standard level remarketing campaign and to kind of get all the information you need to kind of collect, that what users are doing on your site, how they're engaging, what's working, what isn't. So I'm going over this on a very baseline level. I don't want to get into too much data or information because that might be a little overwhelming. So this should not take too long, but I want to make sure you guys at least have a better understanding kind of what we're working on. What's trying to be accomplished. So let's start to take a look here at the site that I'm starting with. And you can see here that this is essentially a very standard WordPress website that I got from Envato Themes, which I am happy to show you more about once I, kind of go into more detail about development. But right now we're going to focus on just basically focusing on maybe your current existing website and improving that. So if we kind of take a look here at the design, it's super standard. In this case, it's focusing on dentists because I have found that in my practice and in reaching out to different niche types of business, it's a little bit more easy to generate leads because you are able to kind of get in front of a more targeted audience. You're able to segment your advertisements a bit more, and you're able to create more of a relevant message, which I'll go into more detail over relevancy score in a little bit. So right now, as you can see, this is all lorem ipsum and just dummy content, nothing really of importance here. So I'm basically just going to go over the structure, how to install, how to install code into the site and make your site a fully operating machine to kind of create stronger advertising campaigns. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment or leave them below, and I'm happy to help. So a couple of things you need to have established before we begin. You need to have a WordPress website and a theme set up. So basically, my hosting company that I got started is called offsethosting.com. Shout out Migos. And if you take a look here, it's just a very standard site. If you need hosting or you want to get anything started, you can basically come here and make the purchase. It's pretty cheap. I don't think it'd be that expensive. There's me to prove it. And then you can go through and purchase and, kind of get whatever you need from here to get started. WordPress is a free install on here. It's super easy, and I can make a video if anyone needs help moving through that way. But for this tutorial, I'm going to kind of go through and assume you already have hosting, WordPress, and a standard website set up. So let's keep moving. The next thing you're really going to need is the Google Tag Assistant from the Google Chrome Web Store. This is only for users of Google Chrome. And I'll kind of go into more detail on this a little bit later. But if you have some time, get this now. It's important just for testing and making sure we have it. The other thing you're going to need is the Facebook Pixel Helper. And this is going to help, basically know that your pixel exists, you're set up, and you're ready to go. So I want to make sure that that's also included in this whole process. Then you're also going to need a Google Analytics account set up. And then you're also going to need a Google Tag Manager account. And then we'll go through the setting up of a Google Ads account. And then I'll go through the setting up of a Facebook page and converting that into a Facebook business page, and creating ad accounts and all that good stuff in order to create the pixel and install it into the site. Let's kind of go over the details of what we're implementing here. Google Analytics is very simple. It kind of basically keeps track of your audience, how you acquire them, what they do on your site, and most importantly, how they convert, whether that be a lead form, engaging with some material, requesting more information, whatever you kind of want to define as your means of conversion right away. So Google Tag Manager is very interesting. It's an awesome tool that I love, and I'd love to make sure to display it so you guys can see it. But essentially what it is it's a way to inject code and necessary tracking implements into your website to track and utilize the data that you're kind of collecting, and use other tools and platforms to integrate with your Google information and to kind of connect with everything else. It's basically like a one line of code that you put into your site, and then you add everything else you need to in here in this workspace, and it'll be read every time your site loads. So instead of having to go into your site every single time to add something new, you can just add it and test it here to make sure it works. Then Google Ads, obviously, are basically, pretty self-explanatory. And then Facebook, I hope at this point you kind of have a better idea. So a lot of this stuff I've pre-installed and I've already set up myself. So if you have any questions or are missing anything on the install process, like I said, just feel free to reach out. So we're starting at WordPress. You want to go to your dashboard. And taking a look at your dashboard, it's pretty, standard WordPress dashboard. So we're going to make this as simple as possible. You're going to want to go to plugins and add new. Here's where you're going to want to search, and just simple Google Analytics. Perfect. So this is the Google Analytics tool that I really prefer. It's the Google Analytics dashboard for WP by Exact Metrics. It's super easy to install and set up. Basically, you're going to install it, and then you're going to activate it. And then after that goes on, it's going to be available down here. And you're going to click on it, and you're just going to go through a very simple authorization process. I'll clear my authorization here so I can kind of go through it with you guys. So you're going to authorize the plugin. It's going to move through. You're going to get your access code. It's going to bring up your Google account, which you should have already set up for analytics. You're going to allow it, take it back, or take the success code, and then you're going to save the success code. So now this gives basically an authorization between your website and Google Analytics. If you haven't set up Google Analytics yet, I can do this really quickly just to kind of help you out. Under Analytics, or basically if you just go to a new website of analytics.google.com, it should let you create a sign up. You're going to go through and you're going to add an account, and then you're going to add a website name, and then you are going to basically agree to everything that they Google does in terms of data collection. And then you're going to move through, and it's going to bring you to your settings page, which should look exactly like this under admin. And then it's going to be something along these lines. And you're going to probably be tracking info, tracking code. This is exactly what you're going to look at. So when you're here, don't feel overwhelmed. You don't have to do anything with this. That's kind of what the plugin is for. And just kind of, follow the steps. There's no customization we need to take. Just go through and allow it all to be there. So then you're going to go to your home, and then you're just going to, reset and kind of go through and make sure that you have the right, analytics account set up for you here. So you want to do auto updates, save changes, and so now Google Analytics is connected to your website, which is awesome. It's a great start. So the next thing we want to do is go forth and create a Google Tag Manager account. So perfect. Okay, so now we're at Google Tag Manager. And so when you kind of go through, this is what you're going to want to set up. So you want to go to account name, and this is kind of the overall account that holds all of your containers. Don't worry about it. Just type in your company name. And then type in the site you want to add this to. And then you're going to go to hit and click create. So then once you basically create it, it should load a screen something like this with install Google Tag Manager on it. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go back to your WordPress dashboard. We'll go to plugins. You want to add new. And then we want to make this, like I said, as simple as possible. So you want to go to Google Tag Manager. This is going to pull up, and I've already downloaded this, so it's a piece of cake. You want to basically install and activate this. And what it's going to bring you to, if you can't get there, is you want to go down to settings, and then go down to the Google Tag Manager once it's installed and activated. So then it's going to ask what your Google Tag Manager ID is. So when you go to Google Tag Manager, back to it, you're going to want to close out of this code because you're not going to need it. And you want to just basically line for line in all capitals with this dash included, basically add the Google Tag Manager right here. And then what you want to do is you want to go to codeless injection. This is the one you want to choose, and you want to click Save Changes. So this is basically, I have to do the custom one because of the site that I'm working with. And you shouldn't run into this issue, but you should basically just do codeless injection and save changes. So then you want to go back to your site once you have that set up, and you're going to be looking at your site, making sure everything's exactly the same, which it should be. And then you want to go to Google Tag Manager. So at this point, you want to make sure that you submit the tag manager, and we're going to call this baseline. And then you're going to say, this is the baseline. This is for your own personal records, just to make sure you have it to keep track. You want to make it live, and then you want to hit publish. Most of the time when I install the code and basically get Google Tag Manager installed on my site and get that all moved over, I forget to publish it. So then I don't see that it's activated and I go insane because I forget to actually make sure that the Google Tag Manager is live, which is something I have to do quite often. So then you're going to click on here and see. So now you want to enable it. What's going to happen is going to look like this when you click on the Google Tag Manager in the Chrome. So you want to enable it, and then it's going to ask you to refresh. So you're going to refresh the site, and then it's going to load the tags that you have in your header. And it should be Google Analytics and Tag Manager. And you should get green smileys indicating that both are totally in there and working perfectly fine. So now we know that your analytics is working, and it's starting to record the data of the users, which you can see literally right now it's recording me. Then you have Google Tag Manager working, and now you know it's working and it's all set up properly. So now the next thing we want to work on is forgetting about this. Now this is set up, we're good to go. So now we want to go to Google Ads, and this is what it's going to look like when you create a new ads campaign. So I'm going to click Experience with Google Ads because you don't want to set up the way they have it. And you want to basically choose kind of what you're looking for. But in the meantime, we're going to create an account without a campaign because I don't want to go into the details of a campaign too much. That looks like good information to get started with. Okay, perfect. So now we're in Explorer account. So this is going to give you a general overview, and this is exactly what Google Ads looks like, okay? So like I said, this is just another quick start. We just got a nice email saying that it's all set up, and Google Ads is now activated and connected to our account. So now we want to go to Facebook, and if you haven't had a page already, I'm just going to do this really quickly because I don't have one. So you go to create a page, not my birth year, new dentist, lead gen, and going to go, dentist lead gen. The category is going to go business service. My address is shown, so I'm going to pause this recording for 1 second. Hang on. Pause record. Okay, so once you enter all your business information, you're going to go through and have these options to customize your page and make it whatever you want to make it. Right now, I don't have anything that I really need to connect with, so I'm just going to keep the page myself. So once you're here, you're going to so I'll do it on this side so you can see it. Business. So then what you're going to want to do once you get the page set up is you're going to go to business.facebook.com. And it's a business manager. So it allows you to manage your ad accounts, pages, and people who work on them all in one place completely for free. This works because it allows you to separate, your clients, your businesses, everything you're working on, and gives you a lot more permissions than you're used to. So then you're going to want to create an account, and you're going to want to log into your Facebook. So I'm going to pause this one more time and get this set up. Hang on. Okay, and so this is what your home of your business manager should look like without the pages, obviously, and without the ad account. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about this. Basically, if you're not here yet, you want to click on the 3 buttons and go right to Business Manager, and it should load this all up. The next step we're going to take to get this basically set up properly is we're going to go to Business Settings. And this is basically going to be a very easy walkthrough and want to connect this whole thing to your Facebook business page. So you want to add people to your account, right? And this is going to be yourself. So you just want to click add your email, add admin access, and basically you can, add these other ones if you want to, but admin access should take care of everything. And then you're going to have the person added right here, and you're going to be able to add them to the pages, the ad accounts, properties. You just want to make sure that you are an administrator. So then we want to take a look here at your account, and we want to go through the pages. So let's go here, and we're going to add the page that we just created. So the one I just created was Dentist Lead Gen. So here is my URL. I'm going to take this, going to copy my URL, going to go back, add it right there. Oh, look, there it is, Dentist Lead Gen. Add page. Perfect. So now Dentist Lead Gen is been added to our account. Excuse me. So now we have me, which we added before as a people, here across the board in all the admins, administrator, everything you need. So now this is connected to a business account. You can go through and have a lot more flexibility in sort of what you're doing on your account, and you can get involved a little bit more. So in addition to that, we want to go through and we want to basically kind of add an ad account for ourselves. So this is the one I created for myself, and you want to basically create new ad account right here, and then you want to go through and type in the name of your business. Let's type in name of business, and you want to click create ad account. It's going to go through and it's going to allow you to click the person that we already created, save changes, close. Perfect. So now we have name of business ad account that we can use to run advertisements and work on multiple pages, and it all stays unified on one credit card. So you're not bouncing around adding 4 different forms of payment, going all over the place. I understand it's a little tricky, so just stick with me on this, I promise. So this is now added to your business account, and then here you can add the Instagram account that you want to basically include. And, I have the ones here for my businesses. If you have an Instagram, you can just add it, and this works perfect for, cross-platform advertising. Very simple. Username, password, and then you log into your Instagram account. And then you want to go to data sources. And then this is where it gets really fun. So then we go to pixels, and we want to add a new pixel. Yay, new pixel creation. So we're going to call this pixel the name of our site, Dentist Lead Gen. You want to add the URL that you're working with, dentistleadgen.com, and you want to create it. All right, now that the pixel is created, so it's loading it up, and here it goes. Okay, perfect. Are you ready to set up your pixel? Yes, you want to set up the pixel now. Okay, we're going to connect a partner, and then we are going to go down, and we should be able to connect WordPress, or we can use, I believe, Google Tag Manager, which is right here. I prefer Google Tag Manager. It's a little bit easier, and it's universal for all pages. It's going to ask you to log into, your Google to connect Facebook and Google together. It's going to load the Tag Manager account, and it's going to likely generate your account, and you're going to want to choose, which one you have available, Dentist Lead Gen, container. Perfect. You want to verify, you want to finish the setup, and it's loading, and confirmation. Yay. So this is where you get the pixel helper, right? So basically this lets you know that the Facebook pixel events are installed correctly, and it basically will get you going through. So you can go through, create ad, but now the pixel is installed on our site. So if we go back to our site, we click refresh. It's going to load with the tag manager basically installs it automatically to our site. So you should be able to click pixels. So there's no pixels found yet, which is okay. So that's one thing I wanted to come back here and show you, because when you go back to the pixel creation, there's no activity yet. It's basically just created and no one has been added. So with this pixel, you want to go through and add people, which we already added ourselves. We want to make ourselves the pixel editor is fine. Save changes. We want to assign ad accounts, which is going to be, you're going to click name of business because you want that, like I said, to be all on the same credit card. And then you don't have any partners, anything like that. So now what we want to do is we want to click on the Dentist Lead Gen up here, and it's going to take us to our pixel sort of dashboard where we can go through and really do a lot of insane advertising here. And this is where the creepy advertising begins, where people talk about things and Google, sets it up and all that stuff kind of happens. So the thing I tell everyone about this is essentially that it's not, us advertisers getting in front of you that way, what it is, you know, the platform is so strong that we basically just pay money to get in front of the audience, and then, you know, we get placed there. We have no control over that. So I love the fact that, you know, this data works so well. I just wish it worked better. I wish it was more predictable of like kind of what I wanted to use and stuff, or what I needed. Okay, so now you have your pixel, and this is where I'll go into more data about, you know, creating an audience, creating custom conversions, and, you know, getting everything kind of what we wanted to record as, you know, an actual conversion and what we want to only pay for. And then we can test the events that we set up. But now that the pixel isn't started, so what's going to happen is it's going to start just collecting just general data, and it's going to, you know, kind of go through and you can basically, we've already set it up. It's going to go through and just start collecting data of users just generally coming to your site. And I'll go into more information on this later. Like I said, we just want it on the site right now in order to, you know, kind of get everything running. If you want to create a custom conversion, you want to go to that side, custom conversion. You want to choose your pixel, and then you want to do just all URL traffic contains, just do dentistleadgen.com. And then you can go to all traffic. Select category, and then you can choose, you know, there's a lot of other stuff you're going to go through and find out, you know, kind of what people are doing. And, you know, I just do view content, value. I don't want any value for that. And then you're going to create it. So now that the custom conversion is created, it's going to start recording that actually happening on your site. You know, no data, view content. You're going to go through and you're going to go back to data sources, and you're going to see here, you know, events received, page view, add to cart, you know, page view, you know, these are all different little projects that I have. And so it's going to basically go through and create this option and get everything set up. If you have any issues with this, like this keeps popping up, go ahead and go down here to connect a platform. Simply connect to your WordPress. You can download the WordPress extension here. Go back to your site. Go to dashboard. Let's see here. Let's get this set up. And then you want to go down to plugins, add new. You want to create new. Oh no, I messed up. I meant to hit upload plugin. You want to go back. Sorry, click upload plugin, drag the file in there, install now, and then it's going to load and install the plugin. Perfect. You want to activate the plugin, and then it's going to generate. Here it goes. Perfect. And you want to go down and you want to find the official Facebook pixel, create settings, pixel ID. It should already pull it because you've, you know, downloaded it from Facebook. So then you go back to the site, click save changes, and then you want to basically let this load, and then you want to click continue. Yes, we've done this. Go to settings, plugins, add new. Oh, this will walk you through it as well too. So that's also helpful in case you need some extra steps. Activate plugin, and then you can, you know, send test traffic. So dentistleadgen.com, send test traffic. Here it goes. There it is. So now the pixel's installed, and you can see here, one pixel found. You can follow the analytics. It's the page view, you know, to kind of track the event that we created, and everything is there. So now we know that this works, which is awesome news. We can close out of this, and then, you know, you should be okay right now. So it should allow you to continue. I don't know why it's not doing that. But anyway, so we know it's set up and it's running. So that's good news. So let's go back to the site, visit the site. So now we have the Facebook pixel installed. We have the Google Tag Manager installed. So let's start. You know, let's leave it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. If you're still with me here, so let's go through and let's take a look at what we can define as a lead here. So let's say we want to go and let's make this as simple as possible. I know how we're going to do this. We're going to go to new, and we're going to create a new page. And we are going to basically now have everything set up. Let's just use an easy builder because this new Gutenberg thing that WordPress is trying to install is disgusting. Let's just call this thank you. You want to make it a page where you can track you want to direct any sort of sign up, any sort of engagement, and you want to make it obviously look better than just a standard thank you page, but we'll just do this for terms of setting things up. Okay, perfect. So the page was created under thank you. I hate this stupid builder. Let's go back to WordPress Bakery Builder. Perfect. Then you're going to click on the link to get the link. So this is the thank you page, right? So that's the link. You want to copy that link and you want to go over to Google Analytics. So let's go over to admin, which I kind of showed you earlier. And then we want to go over here to, on this side, it should be goals. There we go. And it's going to have you create a new goal. So you want to create a goal here. And we can use a template, which is anything right here. Or we can do a custom goal. The templates are way easier. Stick with those. And then you should be able to choose, the page you want. And so the one I like to do is, like I said, there's all kinds of options: reservation, make a payment, make an appointment. Let's go make an appointment for this sake. Become a partner. Yeah, it goes on and on and on. And I can go through all of these. So let's just start with make an appointment, which is really easy. When I continue, make an appointment, goal ID. So you want to choose what kind of type you want it to be: the destination, duration, pages per screen. There's all kinds of customized options. So we're just going to make an appointment. We're going to go choose the destination they reach to, and then you're going to enter that link right there. And this is basically where they're going to go when they, create that appointment or go through. You want to direct them to the thank you page so you can track these conversions. You can verify the goal to see how often it is converted, but there is no data from the past 7 days because I just created the page. And basically, boom. Now that is there. The goal type is success. 7 days. It's going to start converting when people see this thank you page. So you only want people to basically see that thank you page once they are able to kind of get there by filling out a form or getting something along those lines. Okay, so now we have the goal installed. So let's go to our ads account. So now we have Google Ads here, and you want to go to Tools, and then you want to go to Google Analytics. So now it's going to basically pull this up and show that, the two are connected, which is what we want to do, and it's going to, perfect. Now we know they're connected. So you want to go to Tools, and you want to go to Conversions. That's the next thing we want to go through. And this is where we set up conversions. Perfect. So we want to have website, and then, purchase, lead, conversion name, same exact setup as you'd imagine. So we'll do it two ways. Let's do page view, thank you page, and then you want to, choose the value. We can use, I'm not going to use a value for this, but you can decide on how much you want to do. I like the last click attribution model because it kind of really helps you kind of show basically the conversion that came from the last click ad. You can change it either way. You can read about these, but I really like last click. And then you can install a tag yourself, email the tag, or look at that, use Google Tag Manager. So we're going to click that. So now it says use Google Tag Manager. You're going to basically need to copy this conversion ID, go to your Tag Manager, and this is where it gets really fun again. So we're going to basically create a new tag. So let's go to tags, and then we want to, want to add new tag. And then we're going to call this Google Ads Conversion. Perfect. So click on Tag Conversion, and you're going to want to do here Google Ads Conversion Tracking. Perfect. So now you copied that conversion ID. You want to go back here and throw the conversion ID right in there. The conversion label can be right here. You want to copy that and then throw the conversion label right here. And that's where you can fill out your value, the order ID, everything else. And you can do the linking. You don't really have to worry about these too much. They'll kind of go through and really help out. You want to do once per event. The advanced settings you want to do once per event because it'll allow you to just track it once it happens. So then you want to go basically just click save. You can add you do want to add a trigger. So you want to add a trigger. It's going to be all pages. You don't want that. You want to go here and you want to do thank you page. And then you want to basically add page view. And then you want to do some page views. And then you want to do page path. Or you can just do page URL. Page URL equals. And then you enter the URL that we have. Oh, that's not the one. Thank you page. Copy back, and then you go to Tag Manager, enter that there, save. Perfect. So now the conversion tracks once someone views this page. You're going to click save, and now that's added to your site. So now you have the conversion tag implemented in your site. We're going to go back to tags here again, and then we are going to add a new tag. And then we can basically work on remarketing. We can do conversion linking, Google Optimize. Google Analytics is already installed on our site, and there's all kinds of other great tools we can have. So let's work on remarketing here. So you want to click on remarketing. You obviously want to name it Google Remarketing. And then you want to go back over here. So this is done. Click next. Done. Perfect. And the conversion is now tracked. So it's going to start, recording when people view the page. Equals how many conversions you make and how many things, kind of set up from there. So now let's go into remarketing. So you're going to click on settings, and then you're going to want to go over to Audience Manager. Perfect. And then so now you want to set up an audience source. This is basically where it's going to pull, the ads tag, analytics. You're going to need these done. So set up the Google Ads tag. Collect standard data from this data source, which is what you want to do. You can collect specific attributes, but this is like where you're getting in front of. This is just too much information. I'll go into this later. Let's just get this set up standard. Everything's fine. Save and continue. And so use Google Tag Manager. And then basically you're going to want to set this up as a conversion ID. The detailed instructions are here. You want to add a container, and then you want to add your tag to Google Tag Manager as Google Ads Remarketing. So that's kind of what we already set up. You can email it to me if you want to, but you have that already set up. So you want to click on Conversion ID here. Then you want to go to the Tag Manager. Oh, look at that. Ads Remarketing is already there. Conversion ID is right there. And then you want to basically say, then you want to go to triggering. And you want to do all pages. So this is going to record the data for basically people who come and visit all pages on Google. So then you want to save that as well too. And then now remarketing and collecting data for remarketing is now installed on your site. So you want to click continue, done, yay. So now that's an audience source. So now it's going to start pulling information from there. Then you want to click on this link to Google Analytics, and it's going to go through, and you're going to click details, and it's going to allow you to choose your account. I have so many analytics accounts. I'm so sorry. I should blur these out. Let's go to the next page. This is embarrassing. I'm still going. Below marketing. Here we go. Where is it? Dentist lead gen. You want a link, and then you want to click here, all website data and import site metrics. So you want to save that. It's going to go through and link that information. Boom. So now it's going to start pulling this information to your audience campaign types as well too. You're going to get an email confirming that that's been updated. So now you go back to Audience Manager, and so you can see all visitors for AdWords are in here. And then you'll be able to kind of develop more sources. So you have Google Analytics. You go back here, click Setup, Continue. And you want to go collect standard data, Google Analytics View. Click here, save and continue. And then it's going to add that. Perfect. So audience, so now you have these two. So now it's recording both of these. Obviously, if you want to, have a YouTube channel, that's important. You can link it to YouTube to collect the people who view your YouTube and remarket them. But this is to basically stay in front of all those users and get the right, demographics going forward. So if we go back to tools here, we have, all this comes in later. Basically, I think that kind of covers everything. We can go back to link accounts if you want to add anything else. Salesforce, third-party app analytics, YouTube, Search Console for SEO. I'll go into that another time. But basically, once that's all set up, that'll be the baseline of kind of getting everything you need started for remarketing. So what's going to happen now is that data is going to be driven to your site, and these tools that we've installed and got set up are going to start recording that data. I forgot one very important thing. I'm so sorry. You have to go back to Tag Manager and you have to submit it. And this is going to be now your updated version 2, finished tutorial. This is after adding all original tags. And then you're going to see, this is basically everything you added, the timeline, publish, and then now it's going to publish it to your site. There it is. Let's go back to the home page to double check this. Google Tag Manager should be green. There it is. And then you should basically, you can go through and check all the data and go through and see there's a code snippet and have all the information you need. So now basically what's going to happen is that it's just going to pull data from everyone who visits your site. And if you need help with the thank you page understanding, the idea behind it is that basically when someone just goes to a contact page and they fill out their information like Timmy McGee, and then they want to do the email at gmail.com, do the phone number, and then they want to fill out the information. The goal is that when they click send message, this will then redirect them to the thank you page. And the only way they can get to the thank you page is via the conversion tools that you want to use, whether that's a form, a chatbot, or getting in touch. And that's how Google will be able to track what you've converted and what you haven't converted. And that'll give you like a little bit more detail. So that'll be recorded in the analytics, in the tag manager, and in ads. And that way you can go through and, advertise to the correct people. Facebook will, start recording these events happening more, and you can create ads surrounding, who has visited your pixel, who's gotten in touch. You can create custom conversions. I'll go into all that more detail later. But right now, the most important thing is that the data is being recorded, and that's getting the whole process started. So thanks for bearing with me. I know this was rather long, but I appreciate it. And let me know if you have any questions, and maybe watch this on half speed. All right. Well, thanks for the time. That's it.